Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Tesla Stock News. My name is James Barber, here to help you maximize your cash flow. Whew, I didn't know if my voice was going to work this morning. It was real scratchy when I got up. So, our thumbnail today is Tesla Supercharging or NIO battery swap. The title I put verse just because I think it'll attract more eyeballs, but it's not necessarily a versus. I think we can have multiple winners in this space, but a lot of people are adamant and they come out as if we're only going to have one winner, and I don't think that's going to be the case. We've got NIO in China, which is a totally different market than what we're used to in the United States, but it's the largest EV market in the world, and it has a lot of support by the government. The government has specific incentives towards battery swap technology. Now, maybe they just did that in order to protect their investment in NIO and not have to give some of those incentives to Tesla's customers. But regardless of the case, it's hard to argue that there is not a demand for some battery swapping technology. It's selling. People are using it. It is a little more capital intensive. Some of the arguments that I see out there, people are talking about having to have 2 or 3 batteries per car that you make. And I think those numbers are just wrong. It's kind of like a gym. You can sell a gym membership to a massive number of people because you know that only a small number are going to be using it at any one time. It's very similar with a battery swap situation. I think most likely it'll probably be you need one battery per vehicle, but you might need one more battery for maybe every 6 vehicles or 12 vehicles or maybe even more. What happens is you start to get a large number of cars out there on the road, and you need less and less batteries to service them at the same time. Now, this is also assuming that every single one of them utilizes the battery swap whenever they need to get a new charge. And that's really not the case, because what happens is NIO has the ability to do mobile charging. NIO will come out. I mean, they sell a luxury SUV, and so they provide a premium service to go along with that. They've got those nice big service centers or the community gathering places that they have. Well, they also offer a mobile charging to folks that need it. That's pretty unique. It's a little bit higher level of service. Very expensive, of course. Obviously, you're not going to be able to do that for everybody that's out there, but it's an emergency service they offer, I believe. On top of that, they're not just relying on battery swapping. NIO actually has a whole suite of things that you can do to charge your car. You can plug it in and charge it at home, so you don't have to do the battery swap. So for every car that spends most of its time charging at home, they're probably not hardly ever going to come in and do the battery swap. Maybe once every couple of years when the technology upgrades. They may not do it at all because it might cost extra money. They may not be a part of that program. I also heard that they have it's a separate business. The battery swapping part is a separate business. So if that's a separate business, they're going to treat it as a separate business. It's going to have to be profitable in and of itself. Now, being material constrained is a concern. It's always hard to be material constrained when you're building electric vehicles. Well, they're starting out right now with the capacity to not be able to build a massive number of vehicles. They just don't have the factories. They don't have the manufacturing capacity. However, they can continue to get more batteries than they have vehicles. So starting out right now, it makes a lot of sense for them to be pushing that part, especially if they're able to turn a profit from it. And you know if they're able to turn a profit from it because of the number of subscriptions that they're going to be selling. They're selling battery as a service. So as long as that takes off, I think there'll be a place for it. It's a little bit of a different niche in the overall electric vehicle environment. So I think that there can be a winner there. Now, with Tesla's supercharging. Tesla did not go with that. Why? Part of it is when Tesla got going on this, it's a lot more expensive to do the battery swapping technology. It's much cheaper to just build the superchargers, put them up all over the place. And the reality is Tesla had to do it on their own. As that supercharging technology gets better and faster, it's going to be much easier to scale that out than it is going to be to build battery swapping stations. Because of NIO's ability to also charge, they're not missing out on that either. Like, they can go either direction. If they have a very large number of vehicles in one given area, that's a prime place where you can offer battery swapping. If it's a rural area, they're probably not going to be offering that. And those people aren't going to be buying that battery as a service. So I think it's not all or none. I don't think that's what we're looking at. But that's often what it's treated as. So I think the supercharging technology does have a lead. There's a reason Tesla is in the lead. Tesla is on the cutting edge of this. And going with the supercharging is obviously cheaper, which means it's more profitable for the company. It's going to make it easier to make money on each of the vehicles they sold. They're not going to have any type of drag by having to make extra batteries that aren't going into vehicles. It is a better business model, but you don't have to have the best business model out there in order to be successful. That's what I'm getting at. That's why I say supercharging or battery swap, not necessarily versus. We can have multiple winners in this arena. And I think with what NIO offers, they're going to get those customers who want to do the battery swap, who don't mind having to go sit and wait for a little bit. Currently, that's the situation. They got to go and sit and wait. And I mean, the swap itself is like 3 to 5 minutes, but you might have a line. And so that line might take you 30 or 40 minutes to get through the line. Why not just do the supercharging in that case? I think that's going to become more efficient if they do solve their autonomous driving. Maybe you park at night and your car can go drive and get it swapped on its own. There's a lot of different things that can happen in the future. Same thing though with supercharging, right? No need to battery swap if you can just drive and supercharge on its own. So, a lot of different opinions out there. We'll see what ends up happening, but my point is that there's a niche where people are doing it, they are using it, they like the battery swap technology and what it means for what they can do. And I don't see that going away, at least anytime soon. So what do you guys think? Talk to me about it in the comment section. Let's switch over to our Tesla stock news. Not our Tesla stock news. Let's switch over to the stock market and see what Tesla's doing. We got 18 minutes till market open. Tesla ended the day yesterday at 8:45. It went up this morning. There was a price upgrade by Wedbush at $950. That happened yesterday afternoon. The price didn't move when it first came out, but first thing this morning it did gap up. And we hit a high of 859 in the pre-market, and we're now coming down to 852. So, will be interesting to see where it goes. Is this just a case of one-day delay, which seems to have been happening lately? News might come out. Tesla doesn't jump up right away, but it goes up the next day. We heard about earnings yesterday. The date for the fourth quarter earnings announcement. Usually Tesla jumps up, but it didn't yesterday. Maybe we get to see that today. I didn't do any analysis. Looks like I have the 1 minute chart on both of these for some reason. Let's go to the 5 minute over here. So we've got Webull on the screen. We've got our 5 minute chart. For some reason my indicators keep disappearing overnight. I'm not sure why that's happening. So let's get these back up. RSI, stochastic, MACD. We've got VWAP, Bollinger Band, and support and resistance lines. Let's put these up over here as well. We want RSI, stochastic, and then MACD. So we've got the same things on both charts. We got the 5 minute chart on the right, 1 minute chart on the left. Let me get that big ticker symbol back up here. There we go. And then we've got a bunch of other ticker symbols on the side. Hopefully you guys can read those. What's the predictions out there this morning? What do we think's going to happen? All right, let's look at the one-day chart. How are we doing with our earlier trend lines? I think we've come underneath. Because we traded mostly sideways yesterday. It's still respecting this resistance line up around 860. That's been really strong. Look at this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 candles in a row respecting this resistance line. Now, it hasn't come down and touched this one on any of those, except for this one. So it looks to me like we're consolidating, and it should be poised to break up. So are we looking at, I would probably draw in a couple of triangles right here that are converging. So we could break up. If it does break up, you know what? Let's draw a couple of, we got 15 minutes. Let me draw a couple of things here. So we're going to go from here to here. And then we're going to go from here to here. Let's change the color of this here. Let's make it solid. Let's see what we can see. So if this does break up, I don't know if I can copy that. We should see, let's see, this is the bottom at 786. Top is at 884, so it's about 100. So we could see a spike up when this does break up of about 100. Could that happen today? It's a Friday. Anything is possible. When did this one occur? This was 1-7. So that was last Thursday. No, the jump up was last Friday. We hit that 884 last Friday. So it's possible we do that jump today. It might not be 100 though. What's the difference here in this wedge? 759 to 84. Shoot. When this does pop up, we could see it go up to like 950. For today, what are we looking at? A little bit under on those ones, still within this line. So we're going to have to see if we can break through this resistance. 950, I believe, is the next Fibonacci level. I don't have the Fibonacci's up here, but I was watching a video yesterday. I think they said 950 was the next Fibonacci level. Going to be interesting. Let me know in the comments, what do you guys think is going to happen? Be sure to hit the like button. Subscribe. Hit the ding the bell if you're want to be notified. Make sure you're notified. If for some reason YouTube kicks us off the stream, it's helpful if you've had that bell dinged so I can, when I hop back on, you know where the stream is at.
Now go maximize your cash flow.